The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi children, welcome back to the English virtual class. So today we are going to learn a new poem named or titled as The Ballad of Father Gilligan. Before getting into the poem, let me ask you, do you believe in God? Do you have any such experience where you have felt or where you have endured the presence of God? Have you ever experienced or felt the omnipresence of God? Now you may be thinking about those experiences where you have understood or you have felt the presence of God, right? So this is a poem where Father Gilligan, the priest, says about his experience, his solo experience where he felt the omnipresence of God. Okay, so let's get into the poem, and before doing so, let us know more about the poet W.B. Yeats. So let's watch a video on W.B. Yeats. Now, what is meant by a ballad? So, ballad is a poem or song narrating a story in short stanzas. Okay? Ballad is a poem or song narrating a short story. So, the poems which narrates or which says the short stories in it, they are said to be ballad. Here you can see the Ballad of Father Gilligan, that is a short story about Father Gilligan where he has experienced the presence of God. Ballads are usually very musical and dramatic. Here you can see 12 stanzas are there of 4 lines which are said to be quatrains. The theme of the poem is the omnipresence of God and his everlasting and sincere love towards mankind. The poem is about a miracle happened in Father Gilligan's life. Setting of the poem is in a rural Irish countryside, and the central idea of the poem is God's mercy towards mankind. Now, let's understand the poem in detail. Right? The Ballad of Father Gilligan. The old priest Peter Gilligan was tired night and day, for half his flock were in their beds or under green sods lay. Once while he nodded in a chair at the moth hour of the eve, another poor man sent for him, and he began to grieve. I have no rest, nor joy, nor peace, for people die and die. And after cried he, God forgive, my body's fate, not I. He knelt, and leaning on the chair, he prayed and fell asleep. And the moth hour went from the fields, and stars began to peep. They slowly into millions grew, and leaves shook in the wind, and God covered the world with shade, and whispered to mankind. Upon the time of sparrow chirrup, when the moths came once more, the old priest Peter Gilligan stood upright on the floor. Mavrone, Mavrone, the man has died, while I slept in the chair. He roused his horse out of its sleep and rode with little care. He rode now as he never rode by rocky lane and fen. The sick man's wife opened the door. Father, you come again? And is the poor man dead? He cried. He died an hour ago. The old priest Peter Gilligan in grief swayed to and fro. When you were gone, he turned and died as merry as a bird. The old priest Peter Gilligan, he knelt him at that word. He who hath made the night of stars for souls who tire and bleed, send one of these great angels down to help me in my need. He who is wrapped in purple robes with planets in his care, had pity on the least of things asleep upon a chair. Now let's see the poem in detail. Okay? The old priest Peter Gilligan was weary night and day, for half his flock were in their beds or under green sods lay. So here you can see the old priest Peter Gilligan. Priest's name is Peter Gilligan. He was weary night and day. What is meant by weary? Weary means very tired. He is very tired by executing his duty. Okay, priestly duties, he is very tired. For half his flock were in their beds or under green sods lay. Because half of the flock or half of the people in his parish is in their beds and also under green sods lay. What is green sods lay means? The grave, the graveyard where you bury the dead bodies, that graveyard has been covered with green grass. That's why it is described as green sods lay. Now what is the significance of the word flock in this stanza? Flock is a collective noun. Okay, and here the flock are the people who are in that parish. Okay, so in Christianity you can see the people are considered to be the flock or group of sheep, and the priest is the shepherd who guides the sheep. Okay, that's the significance of the word flock in this stanza. Flock means group of sheep, and here it is group of people in that parish. And who is the shepherd who guides this sheep? It is the priest. So Father Gilligan is the shepherd and the flock, the people are the sheep here. That's why it is said, for half his flock were in their beds or under green sods lay. For half of the people or half of the sheep, okay, of the shepherd is on bed due to the sickness, due to an epidemic which has spread over there, and the shepherd is very much tired, or Father Gilligan is very much tired by doing the priestly duties, by giving the final sacraments for the people, okay, during their death time. So once while he nodded in a chair at the moth hour of the eve, another poor man sent for him, and he began to grieve. So he was very tired by doing the or by executing the priestly duties, and while he nodded in a chair, he was resting by sitting in a chair at the moth hour of the eve. At the moth hour means it is in the evening time. You can see some insects will be making sound, or it will be coming. Okay, so like insects like butterflies, but it doesn't have the antenna like the butterfly. Okay, you might have seen such insects. So they are said to be here moth. And at the moth hour of the eve, means in the evening, after executing or after doing his duties, he was taking rest. Another poor man sent for him, and he began to grieve. Another poor man came there to call him to do some final sacraments for a dying person. Now here, why is another man sent for Father Gilligan? Why is the man referred to as poor? So, why is another man sent for Father Gilligan? Another man was sent for Father Gilligan to give the final sacrament for a dying person. Now, why is the man referred to as poor? The man is referred to as poor because his soul is poor. Okay, the person, usually we people knowingly or unknowingly we used to do some sin. So when this final sacrament is given, he will be getting rid of the sins which he has done and he will reach the heaven. Otherwise he will not reach heaven after the death. So that's why the soul is described as poor. Understood? Now the next stanza. I have no rest, nor joy, nor peace, for people die and die. And after cried he, God forgive, my body spake, not I. He knelt and leaning on the chair, he prayed and fell asleep. And the moth hour went from the fields, and stars began to peep. So suddenly when the man came to call the priest, he started to complain. He suddenly said that I don't have rest, I don't have joy or peace in my life because people die and die. So he has become very tired or very weary by giving the final sacraments for the people who die or by doing the priestly duties. Actually, he is not supposed to complain like that because this duty is given to him by God. Okay, he is supposed to do his duty without making any complaints. Okay, because it is a kind of sacrifice or a service, self-service given to others. Okay, to help the people to get rid of from their sins at their last moment. Okay, so he is not supposed to complain like that. But suddenly he started to complain by saying that I don't have rest, I don't have peace, I don't have joy. Okay, and he cried, and after cried he, God forgive, my body spake, not I. He suddenly asked forgiveness to God because he is not supposed to complain anything to God regarding his duty. So he started asking forgiveness and he told that it is not me that I am speaking like this, it is my body. Spake is an old English word which means speak. My body spake, not I. My body speaks, not I. The priest is saying like that. He knelt and leaning on the chair, he prayed and fell asleep. And the moth hour went from the fields and stars began to peep. So by asking forgiveness, suddenly he knelt and leaning on the chair and resting on the chair, he went to sleep. Okay, and the moth hour went from the fields and stars began to peep. And the moth hour went from the fields. Moth hour has gone now, it has become night. Okay, in the evening time only you can see the moth. Okay, so after some time when the night grew darker, we cannot see the moth. So here, and the moth hour went from the fields and stars began to peep. When the night has become more darker, we can see the stars twinkling in the sky. So here the stars began to peep. They slowly into millions grew and leaves shook in the wind. And God covered the world with shade and whispered to mankind, upon the time of sparrow chirrup, when the moths came once more, the old priest Peter Gilligan stood upright on the floor. They slowly into millions grew, means, and now you have seen in the previous paragraph that the stars began to peep. They are just visible in the sky. Now it has grew into millions, means there are more stars in the sky, and leaves shook in the wind. You can hear the rustling sound of the leaves also due to the wind. And God covered the world with shade and whispered to mankind. And God covered the world with shade means it is a resting time for the mankind after hectic works that they do from morning till night. God has covered the world with shade to give time for the mankind to rest, and whispered to mankind and said something to mankind. This shows that God is more close to mankind, and so he is talking to the mankind, or knowingly and unknowingly he is giving some messages to the mankind. Upon the time of sparrow chirrup, when the moths came once more, the old priest Peter Gilligan stood upright on the floor. Upon the time of sparrow chirrup means, when do the sparrow chirrups? Sparrow chirrups in the early morning during the dawn time. So when the sparrow started to chirrup, when the moths came once more. When the moths came once more means, again in the early morning you can hear the sound of moths. Okay. The old priest Peter Gilligan stood upright on the floor. Means suddenly he stood up from the chair, and he was startled by thinking something what had happened in the previous night. He suddenly startled and stood up on the floor. Mavrone, Mavrone, the man has died while I slept in the chair. He roused his horse out of its sleep and rode with little care. Mavrone, Mavrone, the man has died. Mavrone is an expression of sadness. Usually we use such words. Okay, hooray. You might have heard the word hooray. When do we use hooray? When we win some game, isn't it? So here it is Mavrone. Mavrone is an expression of sadness. Why he is giving such expression? The man has died while I slept in the chair. Because he is thinking that on the previous day a man came there to call him to give the last sacrament for a dying person, but he couldn't go as he slept. Due to the tiredness, he slept in the chair. And the next morning he suddenly stood up, startled, and he stood up, and he was thinking that the man might have died while I was taking rest. He roused his horse out of its sleep and rode with little care. He roused his horse means he just called, the horse was sleeping at that time, and he called the horse from its sleep, and he rode with little care. He rode with little care means he was riding the horse very carelessly, because he was in a hurry to reach that dying man's place. He rode now as he never rode, by rocky lane and fen. The sick man's wife opened the door. Father, you come again? He rode now as he never rode. Means he is now riding the horse as he never ride it before. Okay, very carelessly he is moving on, or he is riding the horse through rocky lane and fen. It was not a smooth road or a tarred road. It was having rocks as well as fen. Now what is fen? Fen means a low flat wetland. So he was moving on or riding the horse through rocky lane, rocky streets, as well as through fen land, means wetland. Okay, so you should understand the difficulty how he might have faced while riding the horse very carelessly. The sick man's wife opened the door. Father, you come again? When he reached the dying man's house, the sick man's wife opened the door, and she was asking to the father, Father, you came again? What does it mean? Father, you came again means what? Means he is coming there for the second time. During the sick man's sacrament, the father has come there and done his duty. That's why the wife is asking, Father, you came again? And is the poor man dead? He cried. He died an hour ago. The old priest Peter Gilligan in grief swayed to and fro. So suddenly priest is asking to his wife, to the sick man's wife, whether the poor man is dead, and she replied that he died an hour ago. 1 hour ago the man died. The old priest, by hearing this, Peter Gilligan became very sad and he started to walk to and fro. To sway to and fro means to walk here and there due to the tension which he had because he was not able to come to do his priestly duty or to give the final sacrament for the dying man. He just failed to perform his duty. The priest failed to perform his duty. So he became so tensed and he started to move from one place to another. When you were gone, he turned and died as merry as a bird. So when you were gone means after doing the final sacrament for the dying person, he turned and died. He died, the sick man died as merry as a bird, as merry as a bird. Merry means he died very happily because by doing the final sacrament, he has got rid of his sins. So he died very happily like a bird. That's what the sick man's wife is saying to Peter Gilligan. The old priest Peter Gilligan, he knelt him at that word. By hearing this, Peter Gilligan was very much surprised or shocked and he knelt on his knee. He who had made the night of stars for souls who tire and bleed, send one of these great angels down to help me in my need. He who is wrapped in purple robes with planets in his care and pity on the least things asleep upon a chair. So he who hath, by hearing the words of the sick man, he knelt and started to pray because he is thinking that he who had made the night of stars, he who had made the night of stars means God has made the beautiful night of stars for souls who tire and bleed, for the people to take rest after a weary day. After doing the tedious works, the people who get very tired, for them the God has made this beautiful night of stars. Send one of these great angels down to help me in my need. And the father is very thankful to God because while he was weary by doing his duties and by mistake when he slept in his chair, the God has sent an angel in disguise to the sick man's house to do his duties, to do the duties of Peter Gilligan. So how did God save Father Gilligan from damnation? See, if the priest is not able to perform his duties, it would become a bad mark in his life, isn't it? So it will also become a sin because these are the duties given to them by God to do some services to others. When we do some good services for others, God will surely send his blessings to us in disguise. Okay, so here the same thing had happened to Father Gilligan. He unknowingly slept in the chair due to the weary day of work, and at that time when a man came there to call him, he felt very tired and he slept. So during that time, God has sent an angel in disguise to do the last sacrament for the dying person instead of Father Gilligan, and he was saved from the damnation. Okay. He who is wrapped in purple robes with planets in his care had pity on the least of things asleep upon a chair. He who is wrapped in purple robes means the God has dressed in purple robes. Robe is a long cloth. You might have seen this Greek gods. They have some long clothes behind them. Okay, so the color of that robe is purple color. So here, he who is wrapped in purple robes, who is dressed in purple color robes with planets in his care, all the planets are in his care. In whose care? In God's care. Had pity on the least of things asleep upon a chair. So God had pity on the least thing who was sitting on the chair. Peter Gilligan is very grateful to God for taking care of him and saving him from the damnation. Okay, so he is saying his gratefulness to God. Okay, so I hope it is clear, the whole poem. And did you like the story? Have you understood? If you are truly showing your devotion towards God, surely God will be there to help you in disguise. Okay, that is what we called as omnipresence of God. Right, children? So I hope the poem is clear for you. Now let's see what is the rhyme scheme of the poem. So in the first stanza you can see, the old priest Peter Gilligan was weary night and day, for half his flock were in their beds or under green sods lay. So in the first stanza, the old priest Peter Gilligan was weary night and day. Gilligan is the last word in the first line, and you can give there as A. Okay, was weary night and day. Day doesn't matches with Gilligan, so you have to give there B. For half his flock were in their beds, so beds doesn't matches with Gilligan or day, so you have to give there as C. Or under green sods lay. This lay matches with day, so you have to give there B. Now the rhyme scheme of the stanza is A, B, C, B. You can see the same rhyme scheme in all the stanzas, in the 12 stanzas of the poem. Okay, now you have to find out the visual images, auditory images from the poem. Okay, I hope the poem is clear for you. Just I'll give a clue on activity 3 in page number 93. How does Yeats describe the character of Father Gilligan in the poem? So what did you understand from this poem? What is the character of Father Gilligan? Sometimes there will be a question to write the character sketch of Father Gilligan. So what all words you can use to describe Father Gilligan? So you can say he is very humble, right? He is humble person. That's why he was complaining to God. At the same moment he was asking forgiveness to the God, isn't it? So he is very humble. He is a sincere person. He is hard working. That's why you can see he was doing his duty and he became very tired. Day and night he is doing his duty. So he is hard working. Then he is also religious. Then he is God fearing and God loving, both you can say. Then he is also duty conscious. That's why he was riding his horse very carelessly to reach the sick man's house. So he is very duty conscious. Then he is very sympathetic towards others. That's why he is doing his duty day and night to send them all or the sick people to heaven. After the final sacrament, it is believed that they move to heaven. Okay, their souls move to heaven. Then he is also grateful. He is also very much thankful to God for knowing this or helping the least creature who was sitting in the chair. Okay, so these are the words which you can use to describe Father Gilligan, and from this you have to make the character sketch of Father Gilligan. Okay, hope it is clear. Now in the next activity you can see you have to write the visual and auditory images which you can see in the poem. Okay, I hope it is clear. With that I conclude this session and see you in the next class. Bye.